Hi YouTube, welcome back to Wtf Rc Cars. So we've got the little Hobby Plus Absima version, and this one again is on its own proprietary battery connectors. So I'm going to show you how to convert this to XT30s. So I'll leave the link in the description below for the XT30 plugs. I think I found some that come with the heat shrink, so that'll save you some hunting. But yeah, let's bring in for a close-up look, show you how to convert this from the random, weird, horrible little plug on these to XT30s to make your life a lot easier. So let's bring in for a close-up look, see how we get on with these. So first off, let's remove this body shell, get that out of the way, keep it safe from the heat gun, which we'll be using later. So we've got our ESC with quite a long cable on this. Then we've got this really weird plug. I'm not a fan of these at all. We've got us battery with, again, a really strange plug. So unless you're using the little USB balance lead charger, you've got to use this thing to like an adapter to try and make a charge cable up. For me, I just find these XT30s so much better. We're not struggling for space under here, and these are so much better to get your finger on and be able to pull apart. Whereas these things, there's the tiny little wings on them that kind of look like they're going to break. If you don't quite get it level, you're going to bend the pins, and they're just not that nice to plug in and unplug. And you tend to pull on the wires more than the plugs to get them undone. So first off, we're going to look at our plugs. The one from the ESC, you can quite easily cut both off at the same time. There's no detriment to that. The one from the battery, please don't cut through both because these are both live. So basically, we want to cut these off one at a time. And then we're just going to go and strip a little bit of wire insulation from these. Now, you can do this any way you like. I find it just really easy to do it with the side snips. And then I'm going to twist this cable in together, just so we don't get any stray ends. I'm going to do the exact same on this one. Just make sure that you're not shorting these out together, because, as I say, it is a live battery. You can do these one at a time if you prefer, if you don't feel like you can keep them apart. Now, these wires on the ESC side, these are slightly thinner. So just don't press on as hard when you go to cut the insulation off. Now, as for the connectors, for me, this is the one that goes on your battery. The flat side is positive. The rounded side is negative, and it's just because this keeps the pins completely covered, whereas with this side, this is the one that goes to ESC. Same again, positive and negative are marked, so flat side positive, curved side negative, but with these, they are open, so if something fell in, it could short it out. So that's the side you use for the ESC. It won't care if it gets shorted out. Obviously the battery, we really don't want to be shorting that one out. Next, I'm going to get some resin or flux, depends what you want to call it. We've got a soldering iron heated up, and I just like to get some of this melted into the cables. For me, it just makes the solder flow a lot quicker. And hopefully you'll be able to see that when I start soldering. So I like to get a little bit of flux on, and then just make sure we've got no ends that are fraying. And then we're just going to get some solder on these, just to tin them all. So you will notice as soon as you've got a bit of solder on a bit of the resin on these, it does flow so much easier. And just keep your soldering tip clean. Then we've got the actual plugs themselves, and for this I just like to get a little bit of resin and get it melted onto the plugs. And you can get this in a syringe, but basically I like to get a bit of resin on them. Once we've got our resin on, I'm going to pick some solder up on my iron. I'm just going to get it flowing onto the actual plug itself. And you will see the resin start running down the plug. And you just want to fill them, basically just so when we're actually heating it up to solder it on, you've already got a really nice coating of solder. And it's just same as when we're tinning the actual wires. We want to have a coating of solder already, so it's not like we're trying to fill a completely empty void. So now we're going to get our heat shrink. I'm going to put us first bit on the actual battery wires. Then we're going to get us plug. We're going to look for our negative side. And I'm going to start heating the wire and the plug. And you'll see the wire just drop in because we've got it soldered in there as well. Once it's on, make sure it's nice and tight. Then we got to flip it and we're going for the positive. So I'm going to do exactly the same. Make sure we've got some solder. We're going to apply heat. And you'll see the wire drop into the actual plug. Once we've got that in, again, give it a good pull. Make sure it's in there nice and tight. Then you've got to be pretty quick with the heat shrink if you're not letting it cool all the way down. They do tend to retain quite a bit of heat. So if we look at it, we've got a little negative and the rounded side, we've got a positive. So now I'm just going to turn on our heat gun. As soon as we've got a bit of heat, try and keep it away from your batteries and your electronics because they don't like being red hot. And we don't want to be belting bits of our RC. But once we get a good bit of heat in there, and these go cold pretty quick, so you ain't got to worry about them blowing any hot air on anything. But yeah, that is our battery connection, all nice and solid. So the heat shrink helps give it a bit of toughness where the soldered bare end of the wire comes to the insulation. So once we've got that done, so I'm just going to cut 2 extra bits. And when you're soldering, try and get your heat shrink as far away from the ends of the wires as you can, because you don't want it trying to shrink up before it's due. Then we're going to get a tiny little bit more solder on his iron, and we're just going to heat the plug up with the flat positive side first. I'm going for. So if you just get some heat in it and then let it back off, should get the positive in there pretty good. Then we're going to move to the rounded side for the negative. And I'm going to do exactly the same. I'm going to get a bit of heat in the plug first. Because we've tinned that, it makes it nice and easy then to get the negative to melt. Because we've tinned the cable on the negative as well. We can turn the soldering iron off. Let's get his heat gun back on. Quick tug at them both. If where you've pulled the soldering iron away, you've got a couple of little sharp ends of solder, you can just trim them off really easily with the side snips, just so we don't get anything poking through the heat shield, or the heat shrink should I say. Then we can pop his heat shrink down, just double check positive to positive, negative to negative. As we pick this up, it'll turn on, and then we just get his heat shrink, heat it up. Don't get your body shells near that thing. It does kick out quite a bit of heat, so don't get any soft body shells near it. But hopefully we can see now we've got a much better battery connector. There's plenty of room in here, so no need for it not to be one of these connectors. Powers up fine, and for me, the way that you can grab these and not be pulling at the wires, I just much prefer it. Also means now, because we've got RCs with 2S, we've got RCs with 3S on these mini rock crawlers. So if I just grab the last one we did, so if we bring the FTX UTAR in, and on this now, you can see this is a 2S battery, but now you've got the option of just switching these really easily between the RCs. They will still fit, and there is reasons why you may want to swap a 2S for a 3S depending what you're doing, but we can now just swap these batteries between them. We can plug it in and we can power up, and you've now got 2S. Not only that, if we've got multiple vehicles with 3S or multiple with 2S, rather than just have one battery for each vehicle and its own weird little proprietary plug, so you can run your RC but then you're stopping and charging up, at least this way you can take all your batteries. They are really small on these tiny little crawlers, so they do tend to go flat a lot quicker than on the big 10 scales. It doesn't stop you using the balance charger to charge any of these, but you can also make yourself up an XT30 cable. You can use the balance lead and this lead to plug it into any other charger, so you've got more control over the charge rate. And generally, I'm not a huge fan of the little USB chargers, and this just makes your life so much easier. They've all got standard balance leads on, so they can plug into either the balance board or the balance socket directly on the charger, but it just gives you so much more options when you can swap all these between all these little mini RCs. And I think more so with the micro crawlers, I find it more likely that people have more than one micro crawler, purely just down to the fact that these are way cheaper than like your 10th scale. A 10th scale crawler, your battery will last an awful long time. There's quite a lot that fit anyway. I think a lot of the crawlers tend to come with XT60s on them, unless they're sort of Traxxas or Spectrum batteries. But yeah, hopefully that's a nice and easy video to follow. How to get your XT30 connections onto the 3S battery for the Absima CR18P Pro, which is a pretty cool little RC. I do like this. So let's wrap this one up. So there you have it, the XT30 conversion for the Absima CR18P Pro. I just find this so much more convenient, being able to use all the batteries on all my mini crawlers. I'm going to work through modifying all these. There's a slightly different approach, depends what it is, especially the Traxxas one. That's going to be a bit different because we don't have a balance lead on the standard Traxxas plug, but it is possible to add one in. So that's this one done. All nice and successful. Didn't burn my fingers, and the wires out fell off. So I'm taking it the solder job is pretty good on these. But thanks again for watching WTF Rc Cars. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Share to friends and family. And catch you guys again in the next one.